All right, so we fight in both leads, as you know. Early on in Bruce's development, he thought, if you're right-handed, if you're right dominant or left dominant, you put your strong hand in the lead. If you're left dominant, you stand left. Right dominant, you stand right, because the longest weapon, right, closest to the target. So if you're right dominant, you put that strong hand in front because you're closer to the target. You're going to use this more. You're going to use your lead hands more, right? Your lead weapons, your lead arm, your lead leg. If you can't land either of those, nothing else is going to land. But later on in his development, he trained both sides. He and Jerry train both sides. Us, we train both sides. Energy drills, chi sao, reference point, everything. We do both sides. Because look, I've heard people say, well, this is what works for me, so I'm going to do this. It's not what works for you. It's what's easy. It's what comes natural. When I was a kid, I was 10 or 11 years old, I wanted to get fit, so I couldn't afford weights. We didn't have any training equipment. So I found some paint cans with paint in it. And I started lifting them. And what happened? I could do more with one arm than the other. Well, guess what happens after several weeks? It started to even out. This is a matter of fact. When you do something, when you practice something, you get better at it. Your body adjusts. And if we had the mentality, well, I'm strong in this lead, or I'm strong with my right hand, my dominant hand back here, so that's what I'm going to do, I would have one buff arm because I would have only curled with one side. So you got to work both, right? You've got opportunity. When you work both, look, not all people can fight, especially people who are trained, oddly enough, can't fight in both leads, and they don't like fighting someone in an unmatched lead. So yeah, so if we're in a matched lead right now. Some people are comfortable with this. A lot of people are uncomfortable with this. I'll change leads depending on the strategy here. It's psychological, but there's also a lot of strategy here. And as you know, we position the hands and the feet in certain places, right? That can set you up for an attack. And it also mind fettering. I switch leads. Sometimes it propels people. There's a little bit of a mind stutter right there, right? Because they're uncomfortable. That's when you strike. It's an example of attack by draw. We fight in both leads. Train in both. And remember, what you think is good for you, this works, it's not. It's what you're used to. It's what comes easy. And that's not what we're doing.